Hello YouTube, how are you doing? A friend of mine is about to pass her exams for her cards. She already passed most of them, which I'm very proud. All she has to do now is the hunting license. Me personally, I do not own a hunting permit, but from what I found out recently, you do have to have one. So in general, what I'm going to show is what fellow hunters that I know, how they proceed, what I heard at the clubs of what members do, and of course common sense, mixed in with the regular points that are taught at the courses. I do not own a hunting rifle, so I brought out my bolt action, which represents most hunting guns, like the 7mm 300 Win. The most obvious one is always make safe. Now for this video, the safe direction will be to my right. So let's pretend that's the end of the range. When you approach a weapon, you always make sure, open the action, if there is one. So this was open just at the beginning. So when you pick up a weapon, point it towards the safe zone, finger off the trigger, support the gun. I don't usually remove this mag, so it might be hard. Remove the magazine. Open the action. Tilt the weapon down. I usually do it like this. Thumb first. Then I'm going to point the weapon for the camera. Then you look down the barrel. I've seen some people do this, and then they put the weapon down and they look in the barrel. I do not do that, but I've seen some people do it. Then, when you know it's safe, close back the action. You can leave this out, or you can put it back in. The same applies for a handgun. Now for purposes, you can see my locks are right there. To speed things up, I removed the locks, and we will verify that each gun is unloaded. This is the number one thing that anyone does. Rifle, handgun, shotgun, revolver, no matter what. So it's pointed that way, but for the video, I will point it towards you because this is the point of view of you. Magazine. It's on safe, so I take it off safe. I cock the action twice. Look down the barrel. No obstruction. Close it. The gun is safe. With the safety, I always like to engage it. I did not do it for this rifle because the safety doesn't work. It works, but it's very old, and I rarely shoot it anymore. I brought it out for a demonstration. For the next gun, we're going to change the safety zone from the left to from the right. The safety zone is now here. So this is you picking up the weapon, finger off the trigger, a firm grip. Visually check. With the view, look down the barrel, and if you want, stick your finger in it. With handguns, you can look down the barrel. Let's say you drop this on the ground and you want to make sure there's no grass, nothing, then you can do it. I like to release the action under control since there are no rounds. Revolvers obviously are different. So once again, finger off the trigger. I prefer to hold the gun this way. As you see when I'm unloading. So I pick up the revolver. I can't press the cylinder release under control with my finger. Now I've seen that it's loaded, so I proceed to unload. Now because the ground is directly under me, I'm not going to press and let them go all at the same time, so we'll take them out one at a time. Visually inspect to make sure there's nothing left. In this case, you do want to look down for any obstruction. As you can tell, there's no rounds. And then to close it, under control, I use 2 fingers. I'm turning the gun for demonstration. And here is where you press. The gun is now safe. And the last gun, this is how I hold it. You can't do this, but as long as the finger is not on the trigger guard or on a trigger. So, visually inspect. I do it twice, nothing there. Finger check. Nothing in the barrel. Magazine back, and safe. Safe zone, obviously, always, 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 no matter how you pick it up, finger off the trigger. Finger off the trigger. Finger off the trigger until you are ready to shoot. So let's say I'm following a critter or a bird or whatever, my target. I see it in my sights. With my trigger finger, release the safety, and then you're ready to shoot. Other than that, this is never on the trigger. For this gun, this is the safety. Now, safe loading in a car. Obviously, I'm not going to go out on on my driveway with the rifle to do it. But as you can see, I have my carrying case. So you just simply put the rifle unloaded in a carrying case. Back seat, trunk of the car. Trunk is always the best. I've seen some people come into the club without a case with their rifles or shotguns wrapped in cloth. That's okay, as long as it's not visual to other drivers. I repeat, as long as it's not visual to other drivers. Like, let's say you're in traffic, you're at a light, there's a guy in a pickup that's higher than you, he sees your weapon, calls the cops. Yeah, you don't want that. Now, another thing, safe loading when you're crossing obstacles. I do not have an obstacle to demonstrate, but most of the time, let's say I'm walking and this is a fence, so what do? It's unsafe. Unload. Mag in the pocket. And if you're alone with the weapon unloaded, barrel pointed away, you can put it on the grass, like let's say it's a fence. So you put the gun or rifle or shotgun under the fence, then you climb the fence, then you pick it back up, point it the safe direction, reload your magazine, reload your round. Safe. I'm sorry I can't demonstrate that, but there's no fence here where I can show that without my neighbors calling the cops on me. That's the general principle. If you are 2 people, it's easier. You come across the obstacle. The carry type is muzzle pointing down. Some people have the barrel pointing down. I'm sorry, first one. Some people have the barrel pointing up. Some people have the barrel pointing down. Some people do the cradle carry. As you see, this gun has no sling. I could have also slung the rifle. But if you're two people, you both face away from each other. Unload the rifle. Verify it's safe. And then if I'm going first, pocket my magazine. I will give my rifle to my partner. And then I will climb over or under the fence or obstacle. And then once I'm over, he will give me his and mine, and I will hold him until he comes. Once we are over the obstacle, again, we will face away from each other, back to back. Reload. Safe. Then you continue on your path. Like I mentioned before, I'm doing this as a point of view as you. You can do the pointing downwards with the barrel just under your arm, sticking out a bit. Like that. When I was in the Army, no matter what position, unless I was carrying my backpack, but I was in a reconnaissance unit, so we always had our webbing. I always carried it like this. Rifle pointing up at an angle to my left. If not, I always slung the weapon. I realize that doing this from your point of view, it might be a bit weird seeing it. I'm doing my best. The garage is still a mess, and I would prefer to do this outside, but I have nosy neighbors. The safety to unload is the most critical part, whether you're hunting non-restrictive or restrictive. Whenever in doubt, always unload. Now it automatically, the hammer automatically shut because I had the safety on. It doesn't mean it fired. Now when you're actually hunting, let's say I'm hunting, I'm moving, oh, there's my target. Now, obviously as a hunter, you do not want the animal to suffer. So most of the time, 100% if possible, you always aim for the heart. Never the headshot, you don't want the animal to suffer. If you would do a well-placed round in a heart, it dies on the spot. It will just drop right away. It's not like the movies where he'll clutch his chest, oh my god, and then fall on the ground and wither and twitch. No. One shot in the heart, no matter who it is, sack of potatoes on the ground. Now, I'm going to do this because a lot of times Mr. Critter is not always going to be in the open. He could be just behind a little tree popping his head out, or he could be on the ground popping his head up. You always have to be aware of what's behind Mr. Critter, because let's say you go bang and you miss and he was next to a rock, that bullet can ricochet either back to you or up, left, right, down. You understand? Out in the woods, I've been in the situations in training where ricochets are coming back at us. It's not a good situation. Your heart races. Not only that, but if you're hunting with other people, you don't want to hurt someone else. The best example is, I forget his name, but the guitarist for Motley Crue. He was out hunting with his friends and family, and he accidentally shot his wife. Yeah. Hunting can be fun, but you have to be very safe. I do not hunt, again, so I do not have the clothes. But always, yes, you can wear camo, but on your body, you'd want to have the bright orange or bright pink. This way other people can see that you're in the woods and won't mistake you for a deer. If you're taking medication, let's say heartburn pills, or you're diabetic and you're taking your insulin, always know your limits. If it's medication, if you know how to react to your symptoms, the best bet, don't go hunting. Alcohol, you might see rednecks on YouTube drinking beer when they're out hunting. I don't recommend that. I don't drink, but I don't recommend drinking booze. When you're going over the obstacle, again, let's say you're climbing up a tough hill, unload your weapon. Why? Because you might be going up the hill and you slip and the gun falls. I'm not going to do it, but bang, the rifle will fall on the ground, and in case you're stupid enough to have the trigger on your finger, you fall, there. You just blew off a round and you could have hit someone. So always steep hill, obstacle, river, no matter what. This is what you do. You cross the obstacle, you climb the hill. Then you're ready to go. Muzzle, always pointed in the safe direction. Obstruction, let's say you did fall down. You do your procedures. There's nothing in the chamber. Then this is with a few times where you do look down into the barrel. Could be little chips of grass, dirt, little rock fell into it. So what do? Give it a good shake. Or let's say you just cross the street. Then you clear the obstacle. Reload it. There you go. The most important thing, a lot of people, some people do go hunt on a regular basis. People like me, whose job it was to be in the field, always respect the weapon. Whether it's a rifle or a handgun. Now we just saw 15 minutes ago that these are empty, but I'm still going to check to make sure it's empty. Here, I'll do that without the safety. See, now it's cocked. So even though you know this is not loaded, the people near you might not know. Safety, safety, safety. Always unload when not in use. And always muzzle control, i.e. respect the weapon. And again, the target. Always make sure you know what you're shooting at, in case, and then a round comes back to you. When loading and unloading is basically the same principle. It just depends on the type of cartridge, the type of weapon being used, i.e. revolver, the semi-auto, I don't have one, or a 22 rimfire. Those bullets are different. As you can tell, center fires have a striking primer. So finger off the trigger, muzzle pointed in a safe direction, verify it's empty, no obstructions, nothing in the barrel. Then you can proceed to load. One by one, or using speed clips. Under control, I use my trigger finger to hold the cylinder, and with my thumb, this way my finger is always off. Now the safety on this, there's your safety. As for the speed loader, this is on your belt. That's it. That's simple. Then you just press the button and it releases. For 9mm,